How to Advent like a Catholic boss. This week on Happy Hour. Welcome back to Happy Hour, our podcast for young adults here at the Cathedral of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus. I'm Rick.
And I'm Diana.
And we are joining you today live on our YouTube channel for the Cathedral. So let's give a wave to that camera there.
Ooh,
hi,
welcome.
YouTube world. We're glad to be here. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, Diana.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Excited to learn how to Advent like a Catholic boss.
Like a Catholic boss. Nobody says that word anymore. Not Catholic, but boss.
Yeah.
But I just felt like we need to maybe go back to some basics and get some ideas on how to make this upcoming Advent, which is only in a couple of weeks, the most meaningful that we possibly can. Right?
And I love that, the Catholic boss, because it's a little goofy, and I feel like Advent itself is like joyful, you know? So let's get into that happy mindset and be ready to receive the Lord.
Oh, I love it. We're going to have so much fun. I found an article, Diana, that gave 15 ideas for Catholics to live a worthwhile Advent or go through Advent meaningfully or with more purpose. So I want to share that. I want us to go through these 15 things. We'll try to go through them quickly, and then we'll share if we've ever done them, or maybe this is going to be something that you or I decide to do this Advent. How's that sound?
Great. Looking forward to see how I can be a better Catholic boss.
Or a Catholic boss. But before we get into that, what's been new in your world? Take a minute to tell us what's been going on.
Yeah, so life's been a little busy. So right now at work, we're shutting down our lab at UT for construction, and then all just working at OR now. So it's been a little bit of a process of just like packing everything up and going, and then they've started construction, which means it's really loud at UT. So it's like remote work today because it's unbearable, but it's been exciting. A good transition from
Nice.
On campus to more of a, I guess, real life science job.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think with that comes just like the Lord having me in a new schedule, like going to mass in the morning at 6:30, because it's not really convenient to come over at 8 in the morning to go to the cathedral if I'm at Oak Ridge. So
Right.
yeah, it's been a good time.
Wow. Also, your mom was here.
Yeah, praise God. My mom was here, so I didn't have to cook. Ooh, but but also just being with her, I think really helped me set some time up in preparation for Advent. Because like instead of working all day, it was like, well, I'm gonna go home, spend time with my mom. So now I have more of a routine of like I have open breaks in my schedule to allow for whatever it is that the Lord wants to do in my life now.
And where does your mom live?
Arizona. Yeah.
Did she drive or fly?
She flew.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's good.
She was here for a week. I dropped her off yesterday, and I'll go home in December. So yeah.
Oh, when are you going home in December? Like, are you going to like a couple of weeks to be there for Christmas?
Well,
a month? What do you?
So far, I just bought a one-way ticket. I leave on the 16th. ... Yeah. So we'll see whenever the Lord calls me back.
Wow. Well, we're hopeful this isn't the last time we see Diana.
Bye, guys. It's been good.
It's been real. I'm gonna boss in Arizona.
No, but realistically, maybe a couple weeks.
Sure.
But we'll see.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be ready for Advent season, I think.
I think so, and I'm excited for it. I'm
Good.
excited to enter into this like joyfulness of baby Jesus.
Yay.
Yeah.
Love that.
But what about you? What's been going on?
Really with the school shut down this week because the flu breakout and kind of a reset, and my office is in the school. So it's been, I think I saw a tumbleweed go by yesterday. I don't it's been very quiet. Not much happening over here outside of my office, but of course inside we did, for young adults, we did our last episode of season 1 of The Chosen last night. And it was awesome. It was great to see so many young adults come and enjoy spending. It's been interesting to see the community that's been built up through just watching The Chosen, and to see, we encourage them to, because the way we would do it is we'd watch an episode, and then when we came back the next week, we would actually talk about the episode that we watched the prior week.
Okay.
So we could go through the Bible study and have some time with it alone and then come back and have great conversations about it. So last night being the last one, we watched it, but now what? Because we're not gathering together. So the encouragement was, at your tables that you've been at for 8 weeks, just meet on your own.
Wow.
Go to coffee, go to somebody's house, do whatever you want. Come here, whatever. But meet together and talk about what you thought of the last episode. So that was wonderful. That's great. It's been a spectacular week, even though it's been a little weird in terms of it's just always weird when school is not in session. I just feel like there's so much more life around because there literally is. But I also there's something about being in a school setting just changes your energy and your enthusiasm for things. So I just find myself maybe even having to get up a little bit more than I normally do. But it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all wonderful things. So what I'm really looking forward to is also the things that are coming for young adults. And some of those things are we have an ugly sweater Christmas party coming up.
Woo, looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
That's first Saturday of December,
It is December 3rd. So if you're listening to this and you haven't signed up yet, you might want to check the Cathedral Young Adults Facebook page or Instagram, because we put a link, because you have to sign up because there's limited spots. We're at the rectory. We're with the priest. It's incredible. We're trying to get ugly sweaters for the priests. We'll see. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have upcoming Alpha. Our young adult Alpha, which starts, I know it's January 12th, but it can't come soon enough for me.
Yeah.
Alpha just breathes life and is a great opportunity for those who maybe the faith is not part of their journey right now. There's not really a faith walk, or even if people go to church, but it's not really, they don't feel connected, or they don't feel like their relationship with God has moved in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Alpha is a great opportunity for people to come together for some great conversations, food. We're doing drinks and desserts.
Oh, good.
Which would be good.
Yeah.
And come together for some great conversations and just enjoy each other's company for a few weeks and in a row. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm really excited for all these things.
Oh, me too. And even if like someone's faith life is on fire and they're doing Liturgy of the Hours or whatever, right? Great. That's so cool. But it's also a great place just for community. I met my best friends at Alpha, and I'm so grateful for that. It was I think a good segue for me to like come in as a parishioner to the cathedral. So
wow.
Yeah, I would definitely encourage anyone listening to come and check it out.
That's great. And we will. We'll actually be after Mass, both the week before Christmas as well as Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Whoa.
We're going to be, after all the Masses, handing out our small square invite cards that are phenomenal. I love them.
Yeah, like this, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can show to the people on camera. You know what? Here,
down here.
hold it up to yours. There's your invite.
Yeah.
Good.
We
Very
hope to see you
simple.
here.
Oh, you might see that. Oh, good. Keep holding it there, because there's a
Yeah.
QR code there. People can just snap that and register and
Perfect.
just come along. So if you're a young adult, 18 to 35, there you go. There's the invitation.
Yeah, good
Perfect.
stuff.
But for now, let's dive into Advent. It is just a couple weeks around the corner. It's the end of the month, end of November. So what could we do in preparation for making this the best Advent ever?
Let's hear it.
That's
yeah.
I think I stole that from Matthew Kelly.
Really?
Yeah, I think his I can't remember the name of his organization. Anyway,
Dynamic Catholic?
Dynamic Catholic, thank you. So they have an email that you can register your email and get an email every single day during Advent, and it says best Advent ever.
Wow.
And then they do the same for Lent. Now, the tie-in here is Advent is a little Lent.
Yeah,
Right?
but not so much suffering.
Correct.
But preparation of the Lord
Yes.
in both the beginning and the end, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so even though there is going to be maybe not suffering so much, but maybe some giving up of something, we should always be looking to get out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
Jesus was always calling people to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So if we're going to prepare for him, we should probably prepare to get out of our comfort zone. So these 15 things, found 15 ways to Advent like a Catholic boss.
Ooh.
And we're going to share those with everybody right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi, thanks. We really appreciate you. If not, you can always go to the Cathedral YouTube page and you'll find us when we go live, or simply listen on all of your favorite platforms, Spotify, Apple,
Podbean.
whatever.
Yeah.
Podbean, yeah, whatever. So, okay, let's go. Let's dive in.
All right.
Number one, we probably both do this one, but I'm just going to check.
Okay. Yeah.
Advent wreath.
Oh yes, so
Yeah?
fun, so fun.
What's your experience with the Advent wreath? Have you ever made your own? Do you make sure it's on the dinner table? Like, what does yours look like?
Yeah, so at home, I mean, my family, we always had one. A lot of fun. We wouldn't light it up all the time though.
Oh, okay.
But I remember last year there was a young adult retreat where we made our own Advent wreaths. And yeah, so I still have mine. It's up on the table, so it's my little Christmas tree ready to go. But I've always loved the wreaths that are like on doors.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dang, like I love being Catholic, don't get me wrong. But it'd be really nice to have like a vertical Advent wreath that we can just stick on a door.
True. That's a good call. Oh, so I actually just made an Advent wreath this last week.
Okay.
I was at St. Meinrad for the Young Adult Initiative, and they had us make an Advent wreath. But I thought, well, I mean, I've got Advent wreaths. What am I?
Yeah.
But I made one for here for the Youth and Young Adult Center.
Awesome.
So now we have one.
Great.
I don't
You
think
should have brought it out. So
I really should have.
Yeah.
And it's just in the other room, but it's okay.
after this brief commercial.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
Come back after our sponsors. Nobody.
Yeah.
But it's a nice thing to have no matter where you are. And so for us, ours is on our dinner table at home. And every meal, we light it. Every single one. And the kids get their turn. Everybody gets a turn to light it. They're all excited to do that. And we love it. And that countdown, the hardest one to get to for, like, I love that the orange or the red or the pink, I don't, whatever color you put that third week, that Gaudete week,
Yeah.
right? Whatever color you use, I love that week because it's like you're almost there.
Almost.
It takes forever to get through Advent.
It does. But I mean, even after, it's, I have left my Advent wreath year round. Never took it down.
Lent is longer, but Advent feels longer to me. It always has as a kid,
Yeah.
probably because I always looked forward to Christmas
Yeah.
more than right. But Advent always seems like it from Sunday to Sunday. It seems like it's 2 weeks instead of a week to me. It just it takes a
yeah,
while.
Now that you say that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just
Relatable.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but
Come Holy Spirit.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So okay, Advent wreath. Probably most people do an Advent wreath, and that's great. So we're gonna move on. That was number one. Number two is Advent dinners.
Oh.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
So this one talked about how you might want to prepare a nice meal and invite some guests, just some family and friends once a week. You probably usually on Sundays to relax and spend time with family, honor the Sabbath. I really liked that idea. Now we naturally kind of I guess maybe we haven't been intentional about saying, oh, this is a Advent dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just eat together. We try almost every day.
Yeah.
So I guess technically we have Advent dinners, but never, I don't know. I guess maybe more so we should look at inviting our friends. Have you ever done that during Advent? Like specifically go out on a limb and just invite people specifically during Advent for that purpose?
No, my family, we do it for Lent. We do it for Lent a lot. But Advent, I mean, no, like if anything, sometimes like Sunday nights we do like coffee and bread and a rosary with like families from church.
Nice.
But it wasn't like a dinner, and it was like wasn't like every Sunday of Advent. Or like
gotcha.
intentional. It was just like let's hang out and pray. kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huh. So maybe there's one that maybe people haven't even thought of that maybe this is the year. Who knows?
Yeah.
Number 3 is prepare seasonal food.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
seasonal food.
Seasonal food.
Well, I would say Hispanic community, yes. We always have tamales, pozole, champurrado,
What is
all
that?
of that.
What is all of that?
Yeah, so tamales, corn and good stuff inside.
I just had some
veggies,
tamales a
meats.
couple weeks ago. It was so good.
So good. I had one last week from Good Golly Tamale, and I was impressed.
Okay.
Okay.
I had some from we had our Spanish families here, our Hispanic families made tamales and sold them, I think, on campus.
Oh yeah, I think that was they announced it during Mass.
Yeah, and I got
Dang.
some.
Oh, I forgot.
It was so
purchase
good.
some.
I kind of feel bad, but I don't. I didn't hide them. They were in the fridge for everybody to see, but I really ate them all.
Yeah.
They
Any
are
leftovers? No.
Nope.
Well, if our listeners haven't experienced tamale, maybe Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's actually has some pretty good ones. I was
Okay.
surprised.
My goodness.
Yeah, pretty
Didn't know.
good. But I also like pozole, so like corn and or not corn, but maize and pork or whatever you want to put in there. Champurrado, which is like a very dense hot chocolate.
Oh
with
yes,
flour.
I had it for the first time last year.
Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's like sometimes it puts you to sleep because it's so thick.
It
you
is
know?
heavy.
Like a Chicago pizza.
Oh, deep dish. Let's go.
Yeah. So I think festive
Seasonal,
food like that.
festive, right? I mean, there's even things like you even start thinking about Thanksgiving. So there are certain foods, whether it's stuffing or whatever it is that you would never eat any other time of year.
Yeah.
But like for Advent, these are good times to break out some seasonal foods,
Yeah.
some things that are special. Pumpkin spice something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Peppermint mochas.
Yes.
Oh, my favorite.
I mean, we always get excited. I always get excited when there's a certain company that serves both coffee and donuts. You could even dunk your donut in.
Yeah.
Did I give it away?
Or when you go get the Lord's chicken from a certain chicken place and they have a seasonal.
Man. So those seasonal things, we celebrate those. We look forward to those. Let's do it at home.
Yeah.
Seasonal food. That's number 3. Number 4, an Advent devotional reading.
Oh.
Ooh. So something that helps us to prepare for, because the coming of the Christ child.
Yeah.
We go over it every year, but are we intentional about what that actually means? That the creator of the universe would come in the form of man, but not just, he could have come as a great king warrior, just boom, poof, instantly. But he chose to come in the most humble form as we have all come into this world. What does that say? Well, how do we reflect on that if we're not taking time to maybe do a devotional reading where we wake up every day and maybe it's a 40-day reading that's short, takes you a couple minutes, but you can reflect on it. Or maybe it's an actual book that you're going to dive into for Advent specifically and take some time each day to read and prepare ourselves bit by bit. Poco y poco?
Yeah, poco a poco.
Poco a
Yes.
poco, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Have you ever done Advent reading?
Yeah. So during college, we do a lot of the Blessed is She books.
Oh, yes.
Because, of course. It's based in Tempe, Scottsdale area. So there was like big community nights where women from all over the valley, like in Arizona, we'd come together at a church and just read together.
Valley girls?
Well, like the valley, excuse me, Arizona Valley, like
not
Phoenix,
California.
Scottsdale, Tempe. Sorry.
Because Valley girls.
Not that.
Okay.
Not that.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah. Anyway.
So funny.
We
did
the Hot Valley.
A couple maybe it was this last Advent where we did Blessed is She Advent for all the
I remember you gave us a book at Alpha. So good.
Oh, that's right. It was at Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the women's group was going through it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but this Advent I want to read The Joy of the Gospel. I never finished it, but it's so good and I'm just trying to get into that joyful season.
Love it.
Because, lately things have been feeling like Lent, which is good, but I'm ready for Advent.
We're ready for some Advent.
Yeah.
And then the Christmas season after that. Ooh. Let's go. All right. Number 5 is special prayers. So there's certain prayers that you can pray. You can pray anytime you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this, but there is a St. Andrew Christmas novena. Do you know about this?
I did it last year.
What?
Yes.
Tell us your experience with that.
Yeah, it was incredible. So I would do it every night, like right before bed. I would light a candle and just read it in silence in my living room. And it was so peaceful. And I did it with Allie as well. So
Allie was your new friend at the time.
Yeah, she was.
From Alpha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Allie from Alpha.
Yeah, and Marie too.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Marie, of course.
And so it was good to have that accountability and hey, have you done this novena? But it's so, so good. If you do anything this Advent, hopefully it's that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that idea. There are antiphons you could do as well. There's a lot of things. But if you even do a little research, I believe there's a couple of apps that you could check out, which would be like Laudate. They have special prayers. I think the Hallow does it as well. So if you can't find them, everybody's got access to the internet. You can Google Catholic Advent prayers and just be intentional. And maybe it's the only time of year you pray this prayer. And so it's special. It's different. It's set apart. That's number 5. We're only on number 5, Diana.
Let's pick it up.
Let's keep going. Here is one that we love in our house. I've done since I was a child, from the very beginning. Advent calendars. Oh, I love a good Advent calendar.
Like with chocolate, or what's your usual little beers? Or
it's so funny you should say that.
Really?
So this year, I do have a beer one.
Wow.
My wife found one at Aldi.
Okay.
And it's it's an Advent calendar, but it's beer.
That's
different
exciting.
beer every time,
Yeah.
which is good. Now we never do just one Advent calendar. We do have a main one. We actually do a couple of different things. So we have an Advent calendar that kind of they have drawers and it's wooden, and so you place a new piece out when the new day comes. So and it makes the manger scene eventually, right? So it's
Yeah.
all the way through Advent. But then we usually get a family Advent calendar that has chocolates too, or we also get a children's one because we have so many people in our family. If everybody only gets to, we only get to open like 2 doors
Oh, yeah.
each, right?
That's
Like
true.
it's crazy. So we have a couple different ones and everybody gets a turn, but it's a great reminder. Sometimes we'll do one at the beginning of the day and one at the end. So you're kind of bookending the day with an Advent calendar,
Okay.
which is wonderful. I love
Yeah.
doing that, but we're Advent calendar people. What about you? Do you do Advent calendars?
We used to do chocolate ones, but my little sister and I, we have no self-control, and we just popped them all open, But they were like
Yep.
chocolates this big, so
Yeah,
it's.
Yeah, but
not
you eat
enough.
24 of them, and it's not chocolates this big anymore.
But it wasn't one sitting. It was like we'd get up and sit a couple times. But anyway, next one.
Moving on. Do an Advent calendar. Maybe
Yeah.
stay away from the chocolates if that is your vice.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Advent music.
Yes. Yes.
Advent music.
Well, more Christmas music for me.
Okay. So there is a difference.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because if it's like, I remember when I was younger, like in high school, as I was driving in, I'd listen to like the Justin Bieber Christmas album.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't, besides me? Never in my life have I ever said, I listened to Justin Bieber Christmas. It was awesome. Never will you ever hear that from me, FYI. But it's great. It's wonderful that you did.
Yeah, but now it's
I can't believe
more,
you just called out Justin Bieber. That's great.
now it's more Matt Maher,
Oh.
music, which is Advent, right?
If you don't know Matt Maher, he's a Christian artist. So
He's a
check him
Catholic
out.
artist.
Specifically a Catholic Christian artist, right?
Yes, yeah.
He's great. Wonderful.
So good, yeah.
Okay, so Advent, there's what we call Christmas music, and some Christmas music is Advent music. I would point you to maybe like O Come, Emmanuel,
So good,
right?
Yeah.
Like obviously now we're anticipation, we're waiting. Could be Silent Night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you really want to sing that on Christmas Eve would be ideal. But there are other songs that are in the preparation mode. Whereas a lot of Christmas music is all about the day of Christmas. So we just want to be careful of that too. Just that we're mindful of not that you can't listen to Christmas music during Advent. You can, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. There's always the polls going out. When do you listen to Christmas music? When's it appropriate? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everybody has a take. I don't care what your take is. It's fine. Your take is your take. That's wonderful. But what I will say is during Advent, maybe we can be a little more intentional about a song or two that we listen to.
Yeah.
And think about the words of those songs. Help them bring us closer to the coming of the Christ, right?
I like that, yeah.
And might I point out, there is a Christmas album that from Tommy Prophet. Now,
Okay.
Tommy Prophet usually does a lot of the background music and everything for people like NF and other big artists. But he also has a really good voice and has an incredible touch for music. He worked on a Christmas album for 8 years
Whoa.
and finally released it this last year. Oh my goodness! If you're a gamer, like a video gamer, or a mom,
Or a mom, okay.
and anything in between,
Yeah.
you could listen to this and be blown away.
Wow.
So look for Tommy Prophet's Christmas album. It's incredible. I want to listen to it all year long, but I have shut myself down, so I don't. So I just listen to it now. So
Yeah.
Advent music. Okay. Moving on. We're only on number 8. My
Oh,
goodness.
gosh.
Okay. Number 8 is nativity scenes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Well, how many nativity scenes do you have at your house?
Just one.
Just one.
Just one, yeah.
I feel like I have one in every room.
Really?
I don't know. We got the Playmobil one.
Oh, fun.
You know what? It's like the little toys that the kids
Yeah.
can put in, and yeah, and then of course we have what looks to be one that maybe was around when Jesus was himself around. I don't know.
Wow,
It's very
yeah.
old, but it's great. Advent, our Advent scenes, our nativity scenes are great. All right, next up, Jesse Tree.
Jesse Tree.
Do you know the Jesse Tree?
I did learn about it a little last year. I have not. I wanted to check the Paraclete to see if they have some.
Oh, they do.
But it was like halfway through, and I'm like, so I didn't. But I will. I should in preparation.
Is this going to be the one you take on this year that you haven't done before? Maybe.
Maybe. I think so. Well,
it's easy. It's
we'll
not a
listen
hard
to the
one.
rest.
Well, no, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't know the list. I forgot.
Yeah, and I don't want to overcommit, you know.
Ah,
but okay.
smart. Okay, good. Well, for us, we did the Jesse tree for the first time last year, believe it or not. Now, I've known about the Jesse tree forever. You know, and for those that don't know, the Jesse tree really starts with the father of King David. That's Jesse, right? And works its way through the history of the ancestry of Jesus in salvation history. And it works you through that all the way to Jesus being born, which is why it's so important.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done it, the Paraclete does have
Okay.
Jesse trees, ones that are for kids, ones that are for families, ones for just adults, whatever you want to do.
Awesome.
So those are great Jesse tree. Number 10, how about going to confession?
Yeah, I think that's I try and go like at least once a month. But I don't know if I've ever associated it with an excuse me, in preparation of Advent or during Advent, you know. I think it's become one of those life routine things.
Yeah. Well, we definitely for Lent, right? Like obviously.
Yeah.
But because Advent is a little Lent,
That's true.
this would be another great opportunity to it's again in preparation for the Savior. So how do we want to meet him?
Yeah.
What do you want to look like when you meet him? Do you want to look dirty, dingy, a bad attitude, in a bad spot? Or would you want to put your best foot forward? And that's what confession helps us to do as well. Not only reconciliation, obviously, in the relationship that we have with the Father, but also in how we are presented to the King.
Yeah.
Right?
That's so true.
Yeah. That's why we try to tell people, too, like when you go to Mass, listen, we'll accept you however you come. We just want you in a relationship with God. But also at the same time, when that relationship becomes something deeper to you, you want to dress up.
Yeah.
You want to look good because of who you're looking good for, not because of the expectations,
Yeah.
but because of how you feel towards the person you're about to see. Like if I had somebody really special coming over, I'm not going to put jeans or like shorts and a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna look presentable
sure.
because I care about the person coming. Not that I care about how I look, but I care about the person that's coming. I want them to feel like they're special
Yeah.
by the way that I'm presenting not just myself, but all the things around me. So all that to say, go to confession. I don't
No,
How
and
do
that's,
I-
that's
yeah.
so good. I watched a video from Father Mike a couple years ago that talked about Advent, like in preparation for your own death. So like if you were to die on Christmas, what would you need to do? Like what amends would you have to make? What would you need to do to like feel pure and, you know, ready to meet the
Wow.
Lord? And
Love
that
that.
year I was like, time for an apology tour, you know? So like whatever it is that you need to do to be right with the Lord, like it's time. Why
Wow.
wait? But you know, Advent is a good preparation for that.
I love that. That is such a great, I love it. That's so good. All right, number 11, small sacrifices for the Christ child. So one way that you can do this, and I've done this with children's ministries in the past, is you make a creche, a manger scene, right? And it's usually straw. Well, what you can do is take small strips of paper and write down what you're going to sacrifice that day.
Ooh.
And if you have enough people do it, you put it down every day or once a week or whatever it is, and you have enough people do it, and you end up making the straw manger scene for Jesus to be laid in, so that when it comes Christmas Day, you lay him in all of these sacrifices that you've made along the way.
That's beautiful. I've never
that
heard
great?
of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that. Almsgiving is number 12. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think almsgiving is, well, that's money. True.
Time. Some of us don't have money. So time,
There we go.
talents.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Like, it's not about, well, I gave $20 or I gave $1 million. Well, that's not the point is you're giving not out of surplus, right? Well, I had leftover 20, so I can give that to the church. Whoa, time out. No, it's you got to feel the pain a little bit, which is why that number, that 10% number that we do get from Scripture, but that number is kind of thrown out there a little bit as well. How much should I give? It's usually 10%. But what if we took that 10% and said, all right, let's not just apply that to our monetary donations, but to our time donations and to our talent donations? What would that look like? You know what that would look like, Diana, if we were honest? What would 10% of your day look like? That's 2.4 hours.
Which, that sounds like a lot, Rick. Not gonna lie, that sounds like a lot of time.
It is.
But you're absolutely right. Like, if we're not making that time for the Lord, what are we doing? Right? Like, what's our screen time look like?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What are we binge watching?
Yeah.
Right? So now that doesn't mean you have to be at church 2.4 hours every day. because that's different.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are things to do here at the church, but if we're going to be honest, we do an honest assessment. If we look at that 10% tithing number and it goes across time, talent, treasure, how, are we volunteering for things? Are we in the community at church? Are we doing things for others that day? Are we spending quiet time in prayer with the Lord? Are we going to adoration? Different ways to spend that time, but being intentional about that time.
Yeah.
Okay. 13, celebrate the Advent Saint Feast days. Wow.
Ooh.
So, St. Andrew's is November 30th. Of course, St. Nicholas Day. We've got St. Lucy's, Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Ooh,
My goodness.
yes.
Could I not say that first, right? That's an incredible one. That's huge. So maybe look at who's the saint of the day and celebrate those days specifically just for Advent, right? Oh, hey, let me just stop that for a second.
Yes.
Okay, that was our like our warning bell. So we're gonna blast through these. I'm so sorry. We only have 2 left. Okay, number 14 is a Christmas tree blessing.
Oh, haven't gotten my tree blessed.
Did you know you can do it?
Oh, well, I have holy water.
Oh, good. Well, that'll help.
Yeah.
So on the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops website, so it's usccb.org, I think, there is a specific blessing that you can do for your Christmas tree. You can print it off. You can do it. It's what you do. So after you decide, whatever day you decide to put your tree up, I'm not here to judge when you put your tree. I've already seen trees up. I saw trees up the day after Halloween.
Hey,
no judgment.
Yeah.
No judgment here. You put it up when you feel like the Lord wants you to put it up. But there's something, it's not just a tree to put presents under. Let's look at what the Christmas tree is for. And if you do that blessing, you're going to find out exactly why we have the Christmas tree. Okay, last one. Ready?
All right.
Adopt a cultural tradition.
Ooh.
So there's a tradition that the Augustinian friars brought to Latin America. And it's called La Posada.
Yes, Las Posadas, love it.
See? Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, so I haven't celebrated it here in Tennessee, but back home or in Mexico, what that looked like is usually it was like a week-long thing. Well, sometimes a little longer, but basically there was like formation nights where like the community would come together, and there was like someone giving talks for like adults, and then also someone like playing games with kids during that time. So every night the community would get together to do that for a week. And then at the end you would end up with like a big party. So there was like a piñata, tamales, pozole, like this big festival where basically people would come and then the kids would reenact the nativity. And so like you're going in
there, it is.
Yes,
that's
and you're
the key.
Like going through the whole thing where like Joseph and Mary are trying to find a place, so they're knocking and like, hey, like, can you host us? And like we'd go around through all the church doors singing like the whole part in scripture that happened when like, they were trying to find a place. And then at the end it's like, okay, baby Jesus is born, and then there's a party, and I think it's a really great simple way for the kids and just the community to see how Jesus came, right? Because it was like, it wasn't a, hey, welcome Savior, stay with me. It was like, no, sorry, we're full. So
and that's the key, is the reenactment of the whole nativity of how the struggle of what Mary and Joseph had to go through in order to bring the Christ child in. So, and that's where that that was the initial, and then you can add some things to it, which I love. So it's not, you just come in to reenact it and then you leave. It's no, let's make this an event, and let's build a community around this as well. So maybe for you out there this year, all of you listening, maybe there's a new one of these 15 that you could adopt as your own, something new. I would not say, let's do all of them, because that's a lot. Yeah. And I don't know how intentional you could be about doing all of them at the same time. But maybe take on one, or maybe one that you've done, but you give new meaning to, new purpose to. Yeah. I think that would be a way to Advent like a Catholic boss.
Yes.
Does that sound good?
It sounds like we're going to have a lot of boss listeners.
I agree. We're going to bring that word back. I like that word. Maybe not so much.
We'll try.
It's probably not going to happen. It's okay. Well, that is all our time. And Diana, what a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Always a good time. Thank you.
Yes, it is. And for all of you out there, we really appreciate you. We love that you listen. We love that you're joining us online on the YouTube channel, on the Cathedral YouTube channel. Again, you can check that out if you want to see what we look like. You probably don't want to see what, to hide a little bit of this mug, but listen, we really do appreciate you joining us week in and week out. And we hope this blesses your Advent. And we look forward to celebrating with you this upcoming Advent season first and then Christmas season. If you liked it, subscribe, share it, send this to somebody that needs to listen to deepening their Advent experience. Otherwise, we will see you next time on Happy Hour.